Hey guys, so you remember this Craftsman from last year? This thing's been a nightmare from hell. It's a 2014 model. Remember it had the 19 horse single cylinder Briggs in it, and it had a hole in the back of the engine where the compression release gave way and it busted apart. It threw a metal piece through the back. It just was a very small hole, and but it flung oil all over everything. In fact, the deck, which I have off, still has oil all over it. I got to pressure wash this before I put it back on. Is my light on? Sure is. So I took the guts out of the original engine, and I had a good block, so I put those guts in the block. So this is a different block, but original guts, and it all works great. Thing runs perfect. So I had that, and then when I got it running, I figured out that the good old plastic transmission was bad, right? And here it is in its totality. I got to actually stand up to get the whole thing into picture. This thing is gigantic. And now I thought somebody told me last year that there was a recall on these and they don't make them anymore. I do not know if that's true, but I hope they did stop making them, because every one of these I've come across has a problem, this being the worst one. It didn't work very good, but the axle shafts, well, see all that slop there? So I put shims in here between the wheels, both sides, to keep it from bouncing back and forth. And then it needed new seal. Both seals on both sides were shot. So I put new seals in. Gee, I wonder why they were shot, while they're rubbing back and forth. And cured that problem. Then I had to, this thing had oil all, it was everywhere, not just from the engine, but from this thing too, leaking out of the axle seals, the bolt back tires. I've cleaned them up. Sorry, I'm having a gas attack apparently. But I cleaned them up. They were just covered in oil. And so I drilled a hole and put just hydro fluid in it, and then put a nut in here with silicone around it to seal it up, and there was no change. It's a piece of junk. So here's like this cogged belt that it's like a variable speed deal, take the place of a hydro. But so I had another one of these in an Aaron's I did a seal replacement video on. And those seals were bad, and that one also, it didn't really have the slop that this one has back and forth. And then I had a Husqvarna last year that had one of these, and the transmission worked fine, but what the problem was is that little clip right there, little C-clip was gone. E-clip, C-clip, whatever you call them. That was gone, so this piece would keep coming off. So I had fixed that and sold it. And this thing weighs a ton, I'm telling you. Not only is it large, but it is heavy. So my idea was, since it's still basically set up like a hydro Craftsman holder, well, anyway, like this deal here, and the way it's all kind of bolted in. So if you look at how this machine is, I bought a parts machine. Now this thing, when I got it, there was no engine. It was basically just like you see it here, only with the transmission still in it, with the back wheels, and then the front axle, which is over here. I've stripped it already. But there was no hood, no engine. The seat was there, but it was really rotten and tore up. I mean, this thing isn't that old, and So my idea was to take the hydro out of it and put it in the other one, which it is in there. I just want to say, like the brake rod, this one is straight. I thought maybe I was going to have to use this one. The other one in the other tractor kind of comes out here, curves over like that, and then down, but it's still just as long as this one. So you put your spring, there's a spring that goes from this to the brake. I'll show you that on the other one. So I didn't have to use this rod. The connection for the hydro I'll show you on the other one too, but I had to take it out of here to hook it into the rod that actually moves the hydro lever. So I'll take you back over here. I've got this thing pretty high in the air in the back. I'm sure the cylinder is, it's been sitting like this for a couple days, so I'm sure the cylinder is full of oil. I should try to get under there, or do I need to? Anyway, you can see the hydro is in there. Now, and the belt is different too. So luckily the other machine had the belt, and I was able to put that in here and it worked perfectly, except, dang it, I keep forgetting things. So this one had this belt pulley set up, and I'm going to go under here and show you. So this thing need to go out. We're getting glare big time from up there, but I had to source this pulley from the other parts tractor and put it in that double pulley spot, and because otherwise this belt wouldn't have worked. So luckily I had all that with the parts tractor. Now you can see this brake rod, see how it does that bend. The other one's just straight, but right here, there you can still get your spring on it, which goes to the brake. Now unfortunately this is a hydro or a tuff torq hydro, which I don't like. I hate tuff torques. I think they're absolute garbage. Not as bad as that stuff, but they're still bad. I thought it was going to be a hydro gear. That's usually what's in here. Here it's a brand. That's the brand name, called Hydro Gear. My Cub Cadets have it on, and they're a lot better. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. Now, if you can see here, there's a, I might have to crawl back under there. Unless I got it hooked up, that's why. Okay. This piece, if you can see that, I know there's a lot of glare with the lights I have. See that piece here? This is that's what you want right there. Is that little piece. This whole bar, came out of the parts tractor, and that's the only part you're going to need should you have to do this. But you need a good parts tractor. Now, and it replaced this. This one doesn't have the whole bar. It just has this single piece that sticks through there, that piece there. And this is what goes with this piece of junk over here. And then This is your drive rod. Maybe this light is not helping you. Try and shove it back up here. So then what will happen is this stupid deck lift is in the way. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, now maybe I'll try my light. Still pretty glary, isn't it? So this is your handle. It comes down, right? And it just bolts right on, right here. That's all it does. It just bolts right there. And I still have to put a clip on the bar I put in and hook up the hydro. And here's the little piece that hooks into, let me try to, I don't know if I can get it from up here. Oh yeah. I think. Just had it in there 2 seconds ago. All right, see. That hooks into that lever right here, and this whole bar is connected to it. It just slips into a hole. It just slips into a hole in the other side here. Oh, you can't. The deck lift mechanism is in the way. It's just another hole that it slips into. Not a big deal. And then there I have to put a clip on the other side of this to hold this rod in there. Yep, takes up a whole lot less space than the other one. So if a guy wants to do this, these to replace this stupid plastic crap, and I'm assuming, well, and I'm assuming that this hydro is any good. I don't know. You know, the price I paid for that parts tractor, I'm not out a whole lot, so it's worth the risk for me. I mean, the hydro looked good, you know, it was clean as far as oil, and the fins weren't busted off the fan, so I'm thinking it's good, but, you know, why did somebody junk that parts one? The motor was gone, so does that mean that the motor blew, or does that mean that the motor was still good? Somebody took it out because the hydro burned out. Like I said, I hate tough torque, so when I originally bought it, I thought it had a different hydro in it. But that's okay, because this one pretty much was plug and play. I just needed a couple pieces from the parts one to make it work. And so what did I do with it? Here we go. This clip, little clip I have to put, let me turn the light back on. Put it on right there like that. So I gotta do that yet. And then that should be stable. And put it all back together. I gotta sand these down, but when I get it all done, and then your little rod comes out here to disengage your hydro. So that's what I'm sorry I didn't take you along with, but it's been 2 days of trying to figure it out because I didn't see any kind of video on this. It's just something I wanted to try out. I already have a buyer for this particular Craftsman if I can get it fixed. And assuming that this hydro is good, I have no doubt that it'll work. So, because everything fits the way it should and couldn't be better. But yeah, this thing, I don't know. would like to do an autopsy on this thing, just see what makes it tick or not tick in this case. What a pile of crap. So anyway, guys, I'll bring you back when I get it all ready and try it out for the first time. All right. So again, sorry I didn't take you along for the trip, but it was a lot of ha's and what have yous going on. So you know how I am. I like to blather on. So with that, guys, we'll see you on the next one. All right. Take her easy. Bye.